gorgeous sea of faces. Again, this is the second time we've run this event now, which is marvellous. Please let me know via raised hand, perhaps down the back, if my voice isn't carrying. I'm not really used to using one of these handheld mics, so let me know if it fades in and out or if I move my head too quickly. So to set off, tonight we're going to be talking about Yspan, which is a product. I'm not usually used to recommending products. Veronica's particularly right. I'm the Skeptics Society. I'm the president, the accountant, and the club secretary, the whole lot, as well as most of the members. So for me to actually be promoting a product is really quite unusual. And the only reason I've got behind this is because it's totally floored me with its science and with the testimonials that we're getting back from people that have been using it for some time. It really is quite unique in what it does and in what it aims to do. And I want to explain to you today in an understandable way what it aims to do for us, because if you're just reading the literature about it, I find that can be a little bit confusing, to say the least. So I want to help you to gain a better understanding of why this product is probably the best thing since, we won't say it because I actually don't think that's such a great thing. Right, so here's the product. I don't know if you've all had a little look at this product, but it's sitting right here and really shouldn't leave tonight without having had a good look at it and then want to get your little sweaty hands on it, because that would be absolutely awesome. To cut this product down into bite-sized bits, I suppose, in terms of what it does for us and what it can do for us. There are 3 different things, and I'm not even sure that the scientists, when they came up with it, I'm sure they did because they're so smart, but whether they really realised what they had in this product. Because if nothing else, this product is a major anti-inflammatory. Now, we've all heard that term, inflammation, haven't we? Do we understand what inflammation is? Because I think a lot of us can think that inflammation is something that happens to the person next door who might have a disease that they kind of recognise as being linked to inflammation. So, for example, if you heard someone say they've got rheumatoid arthritis, you'd recognise that, wouldn't you, as an inflammatory disease? Would that be right? Yeah, I'm getting some nodding faces. Good. The ones that aren't nodding, don't worry, just nod. Yeah. So, rheumatoid arthritis is an inflammatory disorder. But there are loads of disorders that actually are inflammatory. And so most of us who are sitting there thinking, well, I don't have any of those. I've got nothing, I'm fine. What I need to tell you, I'm not trying to burst anyone's bubble, but what I need to tell you is that each and every one of us here tonight, including the barman, even though they don't think they're involved, have inflammation in their body. Inflammation is at the basis of every single disease that we know to man. Inflammation is the process where on a cellular level, on this tiny, because we're just a bunch of bags of cells. We think we're all a bit walking, talking, sexy kind of beasts, But actually, we're a bag of cells. And all of our cells talk to each other. And the way we get away with things, the way we can do things, is because all of our cells talk to each other. And when your tiny little cells that you can't see with the naked eye, under a microscope, molecularly, when they start to break down because of inflammation, this is where disease starts. But you won't know about it for ages. Maybe years, maybe decades, before you have an understanding that enough of your cells have been affected that you now have chronic inflammation, and you go to a doctor because you've got symptoms and they give you a label for a chronic disease. Does that kind of make sense to people? That's how it, and normally way back here, that could have been 10 years ago or more, where that tiny little inflammation started. And I want to cover that this evening so that you have an understanding, one, how this mighty product can help to prevent that, but two, so that you've got an understanding of what you can do in your life right here, right now, from tonight onwards, to prevent that. I'm all about prevention. We had a lovely conversation just before we started. So let's have a little quick look at inflammation. We're going to fly through it all because I want to make sure we cover the product in its totality so that you're utterly convinced of how it's going to help you. So inflammation happens in a whole range of different ways. It can happen because you've invited something into your body that your body actually doesn't love. And because you've already heard, and don't be scared, I'm a dietitian, I know it's a bit, I don't normally confess to that, but you can call me a nutritionist if that's easier to handle. So it does come, inflammation in your body comes in the form of foods. It comes in the form of substances. It comes in the form of any kind of environmental substance that you're exposed to. So now you don't have to confess this, but you can if you want. Is there anyone in the room who still smokes? See? No one's going to put their hand up now. Come on, you brave people. Okay. If there's anyone in the room who's still smoking, what have I got to do to persuade you? That is the number one worst thing you could ever do to yourself. It's unbelievable what that will do to your cells. Yeah? So that's an environmental toxin that you're bringing in on a daily basis. If you happen to live in Beijing, do you think the air is going to be nice and clean? No, it's bloody awful, isn't it, over there? You look at the things on TV and go, how do they live there? They are surrounded by this smog, and it's an environmental pollutant. It's a toxin that they're bringing into their body, into their cells, every single day, and that will be causing inflammation, because it will be breaking down their cells on this. Oh, someone turned up the volume on me. Well done, I like that now. So it will be breaking down the cell structure. Yeah? And once that happens, that creates inflammation in the body, and it spreads, a bit like cancer. It spreads from one cell to the next cell to the next cell until you've got a whole area in your body that's inflamed. And then your body goes to work going, oh my goodness, there's some inflammation going on, I better do something about this. And it will release all sorts of molecules from your liver and from other places in your body to try and help you and to reduce that inflammation, because the body wants to survive above all things and keep your head level. So it'll do whatever it can to stop and prevent that inflammation. But at some point, if you keep on peddling those inflammatory toxins into the body, it's going to keep going. It will get overwhelmed. I'm not trying to give you a hard luck story here, I'm just giving you the reality. So we have maybe viruses, another way that we can cause inflammation. So you've got an insult, if you like, to your body and to your body cells. And whether that's something that you do every day, like smoking or foods or drink or whatever it is, or it's the place that you live, or it's the water that you drink. Please stop drinking the tap water, get a filter. And whatever it is, you've got to actually create a change, because each and every one of us are exposed to enough inflammatory substances to be creating inflammation regularly. Even though we sit there and we go, oh, but I'm fine. Yeah, you're fine right this second, but you don't know what's going on internally. Yeah? So let's just, because I can't help myself as a dietitian, I've got to cover food. That would be really unfair not to. And for a lot of people, they don't realise that the foods that they love and the foods that they eat on a very regular basis are those very foods that are causing inflammation. So there's a whole heap of stuff that causes inflammation, and I know you're not going to want me to go over that, but we're going to just very quickly. So if anyone's had any time since they came in, and between all their lovely skincare and stuff, and having those lovely little stuff put on your face, and hands, and your body, if you've had a chance to have a look at our little tables here, which the ladies set up again, thank you so much. This table over here shows foods that are just naturally, in nature, these are anti-inflammatory foods. Isn't that unreal? That there is stuff out there in nature growing, or it isn't till you pick it, it's out there growing, that is naturally anti-inflammatory in your body. You don't have to do anything, you just have to eat it. Often. Once a week. Or once in the smoothie and go, oh. You've got to eat it often. Is that lady here again? The kale lady? Where's the kale lady from last week? No, she didn't come back. We were talking about some of these beautiful natural foods contain incredible chemicals that reduce inflammation naturally. Has anyone heard the story about the new plums in Queensland? It's amazing. They're now saying, move over blueberries, because seriously, the anthocyanins, don't ask me to say that again, and not after a glass of wine or something, Jesus. The stuff in these things that make them really dark purple is really so amazing for us. It's anti-inflammatory, it's an antioxidant. It'll actually defeat inflammation as well as cancer. It's quite interesting. So there's been a lot on TV about those dark plums that we're growing here in Queensland. So when you cut a plum, you want it to be one of those plums that's the really, really dark red. Yeah? They're the plums you want to eat. And you want to eat them when they're in season. Eat them. Yeah? And it's the same as, if you have blueberries, have you heard the research about blueberries? That half a cup of blueberries every day can reduce the incidence of cancer. Let's say that again. Half a cup of blueberries every single day reduces the incidence of cancer by up to 67%. Now, if there was a drug on the market that did that, do you reckon you'd have heard about it? You bet. If you'd heard about that and there was a drug on the market, not only would you have heard about it, it would be on your bedside cabinet. Here they are. Half a cup of blueberries every single day. The research is really clear. I'll leave that question to you as to why you haven't ever heard about that. Yeah? It's unbelievable. Again, look at the colour of them. And that's the clue. Yeah? So these guys have chemicals in them. We just need to eat them. That's what's really important. That's the good news. I'm going to go over here, come on. This one. Someone put a table in my way. I think they were hoping to trip me up on the way. Okay, so over here, sadly, we've got some foods that some of us, I'm sure not all of us, and I'm sure not most of us, but some of us might actually eat some of these foods on a kind of semi-regular basis. Do you recognise this? Oh, I know. Do you recognise this? I think this was last week's actually. Yeah.
Excuse me,
yeah.
fresh today.
I do beg your pardon. But do you recognise this? Might some of us eat this occasionally? Let's go 3 times a day, perhaps, for some of us, okay? All right, and what about, this one breaks my heart. What about that? Oh, damn it.
Potato.
Don't you hate that? So, research has shown that foods like the common, oh, stop doing that. The common white potato will actually increase inflammation in our body. And you know how it does it? It actually turns on those genes that express inflammation. The white potato does that. So the more white potato you eat, and the more often, you are switching on genes that create and express inflammation, as well as just causing it by eating the damn thing. Yeah? So we don't want too much of that anymore, thanks. And what about this over here? Wheat has also been shown to do the same thing. So wheat will actually turn on your genes that express inflammation. We don't want that. This is causing disease. Yeah? So just be aware of that. And the research is pretty clear. So we've got the stuff that I've read, you've got wheat, rye, oats, potatoes, actually will turn on the genes that express inflammation. We really want to watch what we're doing when we've got those things in our diet on a regular basis. And the other thing that we know inflames the body, seriously inflames the body, it's in a little plastic container so you can't really tell, this is sugar. I don't care what colour it is. Brown, white, grey, in between, God, I don't care. It's all inflammatory. Yeah, and you really, when you've got this in your body, yeah, trying to reduce and turn off your inflammation is next to impossible. So wherever you find this, whether you find it in chocolate or in these nut bars or even in these crisp things or any of these crisp, look, just have a little look, come up and have a little look. But you'll find sugar, you'll find wheat in most of those kind of products. So have a little think about your diet and whether that's something that you have in your diet on a regular basis. And if it is, I'm going to suggest to you that you start looking more at this table than at that table. It's not about being really severe. Well, it is. If you come and see me, it gets quite severe. But you don't have to just keep that to the good. It's really about making the majority of your diet around this good table. So let's move into what Yspan does for us. As I've already said, it's a really strong anti-inflammatory. It has a number of nutrients that you find in nature. This sort of product's been really cleverly made. Really cleverly made. So it's got pretty much alpha-lipoic acid, CoQ10. It's got fish oil, so omega-3 fats. You might be familiar with any of those terms. All of these things, even on their own, so if you took them, if you went down to a local health food store and took these guys on their own, they would produce an anti-inflammatory effect in your body. But that's all they'll do. In our product, the clever thing is they've gone even further and they've gone, you know what? We can actually change our genes. We've all heard of genetics, haven't we? We all know about genetics. And sadly, there's been this dogma floating about with gene theory for the last, I don't really know, so let's pick a figure, shall we, 50 years, let's say 50 years. There's been this dogma around that says your genes are set in stone, that what you're born with is what you've got. And that's all you've got to play with, and nothing changes your genes. Well, I have to tell you that's a load of BS, really, and we know that now. It's not true. And it's not that anyone was trying to fool us, it's just that we didn't realise. We thought they were set in stone. What the research is showing us now is they're not. And that we can change our genes, and that there are things in our environment that will change our genes. And I find that incredibly exciting. Do you not? Because if there's stuff in our environment that can change our genes, it means that we can create a different future for ourselves. That we're not stuck with what we thought was going to be our future, dependent on that old dogma that says, well, if your mother had it, or your father had it, or your grandma had it, then, you're going to get it, and there's no hope. And we know now that that is utterly untrue. And I find that one of the most hopeful messages I can give anyone. We know our genes are not set in stone. What we need to know is how we can manipulate them. And the new science, well, we call it new, it's just they found another little term, you know how they're good at doing that. So you'll hear about this a lot in the next few years, 5, 10 years, because the research is ongoing and it's going to be, already is amazing, and it will be even more amazing. And it's called epigenetics. So where you had the genetic theories, you've now got epigenetics. And I won't break all that word down, it just means what's above genetics. And what it's saying, generally, or what it's recognising, is that there are substances out there, be it food or environmental stuff, that will actually change the expression of your genes. And that is what Yspan does. So what they have done cleverly is that they have used ingredients, and by putting these ingredients together, we can change the expression of our genes. They work on a mitochondrial level. Do you like that one? That's a good name. I can actually say that one again quite clearly. That one's quite good. Mitochondria. Every little cell in your body's got a mitochondria. And this is where all the energy and stuff is made. And that's where you keep your RNA and your DNA and all that kind of exciting stuff. And Yspan acts on that to help it express in a very positive way. And what they've aimed for is expressing anti-inflammation. So it reduces the inflammation and it suppresses those genes that might otherwise be switched on to express inflammation. But as I say to people, look, you don't want to be taking this, let's face it, it's not as cheap as a coffee a day. Yeah, it's a really good quality product. But what a shame if you were taking that product and making all that effort of buying that product and taking it every day, and then you were eating some of this rubbish over here, yeah, which is expressing inflammation. So I say to people, if you want to get the most out of this product, when you buy it and you're using it, because I'm sure you all will, because it's pretty damn amazing, once you start using this, you want to get the most out of it. So don't be filling yourself up with that stuff, because that's going to be fighting against this. Does that make sense to you? Yeah? To get the most out of it, cut most of that out of your diet, particularly if it's on a regular basis. No one's going to die if you eat potato a couple of times a week. Yeah? But when you're eating it every single day of your life, then there's a problem. Now the third thing that this product does, wait, there's more. It's about your wait for the steak knives, aren't you? There's no steak knives, let me tell you. There's nothing coming. But there is more. Because not only is it a really amazing and strong anti-inflammatory naturally on its own, so if it did nothing else, it would reduce inflammation in your body. Not only does it do that, it acts on your mitochondria and reduces the genes that would express themselves towards inflammation. So it's like a double whammy. So it's already more potent and more powerful than pretty much most products on the market in terms of reducing inflammation. The third one is, I love this one, because this is the age-lock technology that they've been using, and with the skincare as well. So this one, they are actually acting on the genes that express youthfulness. I've still not found an elegant way to say that. So they're acting on genes that in our body express our youthfulness. You cannot suppress aging forever. We're all going to die. We are aware of that, aren't we? We've all signed up for that. Yeah, that's come. No one gets out here alive. Yeah, we know that. Right. Okay, not to make it a hard luck story or anything, but we can age in a way that's going to make us more comfortable. That's going to make it more graceful. That's going to allow for less disease and disability. Yeah, and for me, that's got to be a great way to go, and that's got to be a great aim. And that's what this will do by turning on those genes that express our youthfulness and suppressing those genes that express our aging. So sometimes, well, not sometimes, we've all got genes that express our aging. And there are parts of us, men, women alike, and we'd all recognise this because as we reach a certain age, and we've got some younger people in the audience tonight, haven't we, which is lovely. But as we reach certain ages, men and women, we all recognise that things happen to us, don't they, in our bodies, things change, and they're not the same as they were. So we're not expressing ourselves in exactly the same way as we were when we were 20. Girls, would you agree? Right, okay. This is a natural state in our body. It's a natural aging state. Yeah? And you can't cut that bit out. Otherwise we'll all be 20 forever and get a bit overpopulated very quickly. Yeah? So we can't cut that bit out. What we can do is make sure that it ages gracefully without disease and discomfort and symptoms. So of course for women it's kind of easy. We're talking about going through menopause. And a lot of my clients are really surprised when I say to them, do you know what, if you were someone who was living in Japan and you'd always lived in Japan and you ate a Japanese diet and you followed a Japanese kind of lifestyle, you wouldn't actually understand menopause. Amazing but true. You wouldn't know what we were talking about. Here in the West we're going on about menopause and how terrible it is. They go, what are you talking about? We don't know anything about that. Because they don't experience menopause in the way that we experience menopause. And the reason we experience menopause the way we experience menopause is because of our diet and our lifestyle. And they don't. They do very different things. And so it's exactly the same as we age, and because of what we're doing to ourselves, we are turning on those genes that make everything harder for us. You know? It doesn't have to be like that. It really doesn't. And a product like this is going to help us. And the same goes for men. Men, you know, when you get to, like, what should we say, 35, 40, 35 for some of them, maybe lower, but 40, let's go 40. And, you know, maybe you've never been to the doctors again, but the doctor finally gets hold of you. Jake, have we got any doctors in the house? Thank goodness. No, right, okay. They're all in the other room, that's right, yeah, that's true. Yes, they are. Did anyone manage to go in there and introduce them? No? Okay, right, someone has. I knew someone would. Excellent. Okay, when you finally the doctor gets hold of you, you're about 35, 40, and the doctor's suggesting there are a whole bunch of raft of tests that you need to run just because of your aging. And you go, really? I'm fit, I'm okay. Guys, I want you to admit, now girls, just shut your ears for a minute, alright? Let's be respectful of the men. Where are the men? They're all dotted around. It's wonderful to see you all tonight. Thank you for coming. So I want you to think to yourself for a minute. Some of you are a bit too young, you won't even have noticed yet. Some of you are a bit too young, but most of you will notice, you know, once you got to about 40, you know, things weren't quite the same. You know what I mean. Do I need to spell it out? Yeah, clearly I do. All right. So, you know, girls, remember? Close your ears. You know, guys, you're going for a pee, and you kind of, you know when you were younger, and you could kind of hit the tree, way over there? It's easy. Hit the tree, well, nowadays it doesn't kind of happen quite like that. Yeah, you kind of fall a bit short, I might stop and then start and stop and start. And you go, God, what's going on? You know? And people all around you will tell you, oh, it's just aging, don't worry about it, it happens to all of us. No, it's not. Yeah, sure, there's that little bit of aging, but it's also inflammation. It's also those first signs that our genes, because of our lifestyle, our genes are expressing something that we don't want to be going to full course. Yeah? So you want to stop it at that point. And you want to actually reverse things and change things around. And we can do that. And we can do that with a number of things. We can do that by changing your diet and your lifestyle. But we can particularly do that by taking this product. Because that's what this product is designed to do. So it'll actually work with your body, with your mitochondria, with your gene expression. It can actually help improve our circulation by reducing the inflammation that's in our cardiovascular system, so in our arteries, in our veins, in our capillaries. If we've got inflammation, what does that look like? If you've got inflammation in your arteries, what does that look like? It can look like a heart attack, sure, or a stroke, because it can look like a blockage, yeah? Yeah, because that's inflammation. Right, so this is a product that's going to reduce your inflammation everywhere in your body. Not just one little bit, like your little toe or something, because you might have gout. I'm suggesting anyone has gout, but yeah, it's actually going to affect your whole body. So it's going to help your cardiovascular system. It's going to help your brain and create clearer, more focused thinking. You know, one of the things they're talking about the brain now and the inflammation in the brain, they're actually considering that Alzheimer's, we really shouldn't be calling it Alzheimer's, it's really diabetes type 3. Because Alzheimer's is created from such severe inflammation, and it's an inflammatory response between your glucose and your insulin. And if you exist always on a pretty high glucose level, and therefore a high insulin level, you're going to be creating an Alzheimer's type picture. And so they're now calling it diabetes type 3. Yeah, it's pretty horrifying, isn't it? Okay, they've known it, the research is becoming clearer, they've known it for a little while, and they're talking about it and discussing probably what drug that they can create. But all you have to do is to reduce that inflammation and change your diet. I mean, to me, it's just bloody blind Freddy can sort that out. But anyway, to me, it's about cutting all that rubbish out and taking a fabulous product like this and putting in these beautiful foods. Does that make sense to people? Sort of vaguely, maybe. Sometimes some people might be feeling a little bit uncomfortable, and that's okay. I don't apologise for discomfort, because if you're feeling a bit uncomfortable, it's great, because it actually might make you do something about what you're currently doing. Yeah. So this product blows the others out of the park for 3 different reasons. The synergy, we've all heard that term, haven't we? But the synergy of these products, the little ingredients in here, and you can read them all on the back a bit later. I think I'm getting to that aging point where I might need glasses, because I can't read that. It's a bit too small. But you can all come and have a little look and read those ingredients. But the synergy, so the power of the ingredients working together, is more powerful than if they were working separately. So as I said earlier, you could go down to the health food store and buy some CoQ10, no problem. And that will help reduce the inflammation in your cardiovascular system. Yeah, great. That's all it will do. That's great. If you need that, that's brilliant. And if you've got inflammation in your brain somewhere, yeah, take some alpha-lipoic acid. That's in here too. And if you've got inflammation somewhere else in your body, yeah, maybe take some rosemary or some omega-3s. Yeah, they're in here too. And vitamin D is in here too. But it's the synergy of these guys working together that's the magic of this. And that's, I think, something that they wouldn't necessarily have expected to discover, the power of the synergy of the ingredients. So not only is it an amazing anti-inflammatory, reducing inflammation, it actually helps your genetics to express themselves in a more youthful way, but also to reduce those genes that might be wanting to express themselves in an aging way. But we can't make any claims on this product. And for me, it's always about, okay, you go and take this product, and then you eat a whole bunch of that kind of food. I wouldn't be suggesting that you will get the best results that you possibly could. I would suggest you take this product the way it's been suggested, and you really have a little look at your diet and your lifestyle, and you start to reduce. Not everyone's going to want to do that immediately, but as soon as you start to feel a little bit better, you will. Because what happens when you feel just that little bit better? What happens when you wake up in the morning with that little bit more energy because you've been taking a product or you've changed something in your diet or your lifestyle that's making you feel more energized? What happens? You want to do more, don't you? Because you get enthusiastic and inspired to go, wow, I just made that one small change. I wonder what would happen if I made another, and then another, and then another. And before you know it, you've changed a whole raft of things, which were quite easy at the time, to put those small little changes in. So if you're looking for one change to make, and let's go beyond the obvious, you're going to take this product, that's said. You're taking the product, one small change I would make to your daily regime is that you must all drink more water. Now I know that comes really left field because I haven't talked about that, but it's because I just remembered. It's been a long day. Again, we need to hydrate the body. And one of the worst things that we can do, that when the body is dehydrated, it will be inflamed and more acidic, and then inflammation is easier. Yeah, so all those things go together. So the more water you can drink, please don't drown yourself, but the more water you can drink, the more hydrated that you will be, the more your cells will communicate with each other more effectively, the less inflammation that can actually get in and take hold. And when I say more water, whatever you're drinking, drink more, unless you're currently drinking 3 litres. Now work up to 2 litres. In this weather up in Queensland, We need more than that. Every time you drink a coffee, have another glass. Every time you drink some alcohol, have another glass. Every time you're out there in the heat, have another glass. But your baseline is 2 litres. Or as a good friend of mine said the other day, you want a litre for every 25 kilos of body weight. Did I get that right? Yes, thank you. Every 25 kilos of body weight, you want at least 1 litre. So some people will be needing more than others. Now I'm going to finish there. I'm going to hand back over to Veronica. I am around later for questions, and I know the ladies allow me to do this, so thank you very much, Karen, Veronica. If anyone was thinking that they would like to investigate how to change their diet and their lifestyle, I've left some of my brochures and cards. Please help yourself. I am here on the coast locally, but you can contact me via phone and Skype as well. Thank you very much.